Hey guys, this is Malinki. Welcome back to my channel, Voice of Malinki. Today we will talk about Sulphur Cycle. And if you are new in my channel, please subscribe my channel. And if you like my video, please do like, comment and share my video. So in our previous lecture, we have seen what is biogeochemical cycles. We have seen that there are two types of biogeochemical cycles like gaseous cycle and sedimentary cycle. So we have already talked about water cycle, carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle and oxygen cycle. Links are provided in the description box. So gaseous cycle is complete. Now today we will start sedimentary cycle. So in sedimentary cycle, first is sulphur cycle. So today we will talk about sulphur cycle. Okay. So sulphur cycle is the process where sulphur is circulated through the rocks, water bodies and living systems. So sulphur is abundant in our earth and it occurs in gaseous form like as H2S and SO2, as well as it occurs as a solid form as sulfate, sulfites and organic sulfur in soil and in the body of living organisms. Now, sulphur remains in atmosphere for a very short time. So, its main reservoir is soil. Let's talk about the stages of sulphur cycle. So, the first stage is withering of rocks. Now the sulphur is released in the soil by the withering of rocks. So from rocks we get sulphur. Next is oxidation of sulphur. So this sulphur that is drained out from rocks, these cannot be utilized by the plants directly. So they should be oxidized into sulfates by certain bacteria. So sulphur is oxidized into sulfate. Next stage is utilization of sulfates. So sulfates are utilized by plants and microbes and get converted into organic forms, mainly proteins. Sulfates are utilized in proteins. Next is flow of sulfates. So primary consumers eat those plants and in this way organic form of sulfur enters the food web. Next is decomposition. Okay, so when plants or animals die, the organic sulfur that is present in their body in the form of protein is reduced to H2S or hydrogen sulfide by certain bacteria such as E. coli and fungus also like Aspergillus, Neurospora, etc. And this occurs in two steps. Okay, so the first step is that the sulfates are converted to sulfides by the utilization of ATP. Next step, sulfides are reduced to hydrogen sulfide H2S. And the next step is oxidation of hydrogen sulfide or H2S. Okay, so H2S is oxidized to produce sulfur by certain chemoautotrophic bacteria. For example, certain photosynthetic bacteria such as green sulfur bacteria and purple sulfur bacteria use H2S during photosynthesis to reduce CO2 to yield glucose like this. So sulfur is now liberated and Other ways of releasing sulfur naturally are, so there are certain other different ways such as breakdown of organic materials in swamps, evaporation of water, volcanic eruptions which also release sulfur in the atmosphere. Now the free sulfur falls with rainfall on earth. So this is the case. So in this schematic diagram you will get all the steps I have already talked in this discussion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and ultimately the production of sulfur. Okay, let's talk about the significance of sulfur cycle. So sulfur is important for the functioning of proteins and enzymes in plants and animals. And sulfur cycle is essential since it balances the sulfur concentration in different reservoirs so that earth remains a hospitable place for life.